So greetings to you. Greetings and welcome to Uncensored Guyana. I am Dr. Prasad, your precious gift. I wouldn't patronize myself to say that I'm the only one of his kind. There are many people like me doing what they do in their own way. They're contributing towards the stability and safety of Guyana the best way they know how. I'm doing it the best way I know how. I'm not the best. I'm just me. And my agenda is that Guyana, that land of my ancestors from both sides, that land that has seen so much apartheid under the Barnum regime, that land that has seen so much massacre, inhumanity, genocide, starvation, racism under the Barnum regime. That land that has lost its sons and daughters, that had to flee. And to this day, the fear lives on. To this day, the fear is ever present in their hearts, in their minds, in their dreams of what their ancestors, their parents, even themselves would have witnessed and suffered under the Barnum regime. To that Guyana, I say, we, the people, that democratic state, that booming economy, we, the people, holds the ultimate power. We, the Guyanese people, holds the ultimate power. And since we, the Guyanese people, we entrusted that power into the stewardship of the People's Progressive Party Civic, September 1st, 2025. We, the Guyanese people, must hold accountable not just President Irfan Ali, but the entire executive of the People's Progressive Party Civic. All of them, we, the people, must hold accountable because we gave them the power they have. They didn't deserve it, but they were the only option. The PPP Civic were the only option, not alternative option, to making sure that Guyana remains awake from the atrocities the country had experienced under the PNC. Therein, while we are holding the PPP accountable, we must make sure that we let the PPP, I'm not talking government, I'm talking the PPP, the People's Progressive Party Civic. We need to let them understand and listen. We trusted you to continue the legacy of our great deity, Dr. Jagan. So we are going to stand behind you, the PPP, behind you during this hardship of political turmoil in Guyana. We, the people, are going to stand behind the People's Progressive Party Civic during this time. And by extension, the government. Because we didn't elect the government, we elected the party. So we identify with the party. We are loyal to the party. Our hearts is enshrined within the core of the party by any means necessary. We, the Guyanese people, will keep Guyana safe. We'll keep Guyana out of the hands of the PNC and their operatives. By extension, Azruddin Mohammed. We, the people, by any means necessary, will make sure that Guyana stays peaceful. Guyana operates within the boundaries of the law, and Guyana thrives, continue to thrive every day. There is no going back. There is no going back. I'm going to borrow President Obama's phrase. Guyanese, yes, we can keep the government safe. Yes, we can keep Guyana safe. Yes, we can keep the criminals out of the parliament. Yes, we can. And yes, we shall. We stand in solidarity with the President, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, and the government, 100%. So I say to Ugly Norton, loser Campbell, disgraced Amanza Walter Desir, and criminal Azruddin Mohammed, I say to all of you, bring it the fuck on. Bring it on. Whatever you're cooking up, whatever you're planning, bring it on. All of you are going to go down together. Every one of you. None of you. None of you. Never. Never. None of you will ever be president of Guyana. I have a chance of being president than fucking Norton, than Campbell, than Walter Desir, and definitely Azruddin Mohammed. You will be you will be president to the shit gang in the federal prison. You will be the president for the shit gang in the federal prison. The shit gang are the Batty Boys. You'll be the president of that gang in the federal prison in America. So bring it on. Don't talk up. Don't spread conspiracy. Don't send messages. Bring it on. I keep saying this. You think the shit you did in the past, your lootings, your burning, your sponsoring protests, You're sponsoring destruction. You're sponsoring all of that to make the government, by extension, the PPP, look bad. Bring it on. Come again this time. We are ready for you. We are ready for you. Bring it on. All right? That's an invitation. That is an invitation. If you think the government is weak, if you think the police are corrupt, well, bring it on. We shall see. Bring back the double day protest. I beg you. The Tushin protest, the lootings, bring it back. Now you have a good reason to bring it back, because your boss is not going to be sworn in as no opposition leader. Never. The country will not recognize Azruddin Mohammed, not now, not ever, as opposition leader. It ain't gonna happen. So bring on your protest. Bring on your terrorism. Bring it on. Guyanese are not at slumber anymore. Guyanese don't smoke cocaine. Guyanese isn't sniffing marijuana. Guyanese are awake. They're drinking coffee so they can stay awake. To see all the jugu, all the nonsense, all the conspiracy, all the plannings, Guyanese are noticing it. Yes, so you bring it on. Send your terrorists. Oh yes, send them out. We know you're going to try more. You think the one recently, yesterday or whenever, you think that is all? No, we know. We are waiting. We know that you are planning more. We know. You're trying to scare people off. You're trying to scare people off. Okay, bring it on. Keep them coming. Yeah, I know you're going to change your tactics. You'll try to get some Guyanese to do the terrorism. You will try to get Guyanese to do it. But your terrorism with Guyanese is to protest and to loot and to pick on people and to beat up the Indians and beat up everybody else. That is your terrorism when it comes to Guyanese terrorists. But if your plot, your ploy with the Venezuelans don't work, you're going to turn your attention to have Guyanese, you know, the loser ones, the ones that has no brains, they smoke their brains out, the junkies. You're going to clean them up. You'll clean them up. You know, the discarded ones, the human scums that nobody wants to deal with. Yeah, you'll get those. You're going to clean them up, put on some decent clothes on them, and you're going to give them bombs to go and plant it at places. Because you don't mind if the police sees them and they're shot dead. Nobody will miss them. You don't think we know your plans? Yeah, we do. We do. But I bet you, I guarantee you, all of you would be going down with it, from Norton to the whole team. This ain't the Barnum time. This is 2025, almost the end of 2025. We're going into 2026. It ain't fucking happening anymore. Anymore. Send your daughters, send your sons, send your grandchildren. There are enough bullets for them. Enough. So send them out. I beg you, let them go on the street and be destructive. Yes. This is no time for nice talking. This is no time for beating around the game or whatever. I am done with that. You are jealous. All of you from the PNC, from the WIN people. Why am I even calling WIN? They're finished. Why am I even calling WIN? Like I'm the CCJ president coming to legitimize Ajudi Mohammed. Think he can influence the courts and influence the politics in Guyana to say, hey, let the man go free. I ain't them house nigga that. Nobody can buy me. Like I said, the Win people offered me money, a lot of money. I refused it. I will always refuse it. But like I said, bring it on. You're going down. All of you going down. And for the Mohammeds, your sister is next. She is next. And that thug for a husband she has? Oh, yes. You don't think they have information on them? Crime is a family thing with the Mohammeds. Crime is a family thing with the Mohammeds. We're only focusing on Ajruddin and his father. Oh no, there are lots of other relatives involved. Lots of other relatives. Not just those two. There are a lot of names that will start to surface. It's a whole family enterprise. Lots of other relatives are involved. But they wanted to get the head. They wanted to cut the snake, chop the head off of the snake. Then they're going to focus on the body. But there are many more involved from the Mohammed's family, immediate and extended family. They don't employ their friends in their corrupt business. They want to keep the money in the family. Well, they kept it. And also the crimes. The money and the crimes they kept in the family. And they are going to get all of them. So the sister that is gallivanting herself, think that she is immune somehow because she hasn't been fingered? No. Wait till you see. The whole family is going down. Everything, all the shell companies they have, all the fake companies they have, that is registered with no building, with no office, empty lands, just house number, but you go there, there's no building on the property. All of those companies, shell companies, zombie companies, ghost companies, yes, they're all linked to people, and all the people they're linked to will be taken. So it's a long process. The Americans, they have a lot of empty cells in the federal prison. And if they need to, they'll build a few more just to accommodate the massive, massive family structure of the Mohammed's crime syndicate. You're playing a mafia. Well, let's see what the mafia can do. Because the mafia is responsible for Anil Nandalal. He has to go. There is no forgiving where that's concerned. Anil has to go as Minister of Justice. He has to go. Fire Anil Nandalal. Investigate the judge, the magistrate. Investigate the magistrate. Maybe she's also related to the Mohammeds somehow. Do your research. Maybe she's related to the Mohammeds. Maybe she has investment in one of the companies. Maybe she's somehow linked to the Mohammeds. So it is in her interest that they don't go to face justice in America. All the people from the government that are trying to spare and save and are leaking information that will be in favor of the Mohammeds, investigate them. They are somehow fingered in all the things that's happening. Their names are called. Now you would extract that sentence and say that I say the judge's name is called when it comes to the Mohammeds. Yes, it is called. Isn't she the judge that presided over the bail, the extradition hearing case. So she's associated. She was the judge in the case. Hence, her name is called in association with the Bahamas. In context. That's how careful you have to be with Guyanese now. Everybody gets smart. It's a good thing now, like putting a tattoo. Everybody wants to sue somebody. So you have to spell it out so those dumb fucks can understand what you mean. Otherwise, they'll take your statement and say, you see, he's saying that the judge is also involved in the corruption of the Bahamas. You know how it is. But the evidence shall be revealed. Azrin Muhammad and his father and the whole team of WIN is a disaster to the government, literally to the government. They are a curse to the National Assembly. They should be nowhere close to that building, nowhere close to that assembly. It is in the best interest of the members of the Parliament of WIN, after the members, except for that lunatic, for that criminal, after the members of Parliament from the WIN party, 15 of them, with the exception of Azrin Muhammad, after they would have taken the oath, they should cross the floor and go to the opposition. We have 36 seats in the parliament. There is nobody from the WIN party that will make a difference for the PPP. If the PPP accepts anybody from the WIN party, the PPP is desperate. They are desperate. They don't need anybody from the WIN party. So the PPP should not have an open policy or open door that anybody who wants to cross the aisles can cross the aisles. Don't betray your constituents like that. Let the people from the WIN party go join the PNC. They'll be safe there. After all, they're all racial. The PNC will welcome them because the PNC can only survive with like kind. So they need people who are racial like the PNC to join the PNC. In the PPP, we're not racial. We love everybody. But we don't support, encourage, and cover up crime. The PNC does that. So after those lunatics from the WIN party, those fools, those low energy, yeah, literally low energy. Do you see how they talk? Do you see how the people of the WIN party, see how they talk? I mean, look at the Odessa woman. Yeah, she always look hungry. She always look hungry. She talks as if she can't wait for the next meal. Literally. Like she's choking on hunger. That's what she talks. They have issues. Look at the other one, the Rasta lesbian. I mean, all of them need therapy. They need rehab. They need rehab. See, this is why they say politics is dirty. This is why they say politics is dirty, because when you talk about politics being dirty, look at the people in the WIN party. They're all nasty. All nasty. They're corrupt. They're failures. They're literally hideous. Look at them. You got a loser pundit who couldn't make it. How the hell you can't make it as a pundit? That's like a pastor. How corrupt you have to be. How fake and a fraud you have to be not to make it as a pundit. That's the most noble profession there is. Sacred profession. It's like being a nun or a monk. You failed as a pundit and the best option you had was to become a criminal. How could a pundit justify getting involved in a cult, the cult of Ashwini Muhammad. You go from God to the devil? Why? You became a pandit because you want to make money? That's not a profession for the rich. You have to be a noble person, somebody of a kind heart. You have to be a good soul to want to take that path. You can never be a pandit and join a team like WIN, surrounded by those hooligans. Those hooligans. And the corrupt doctor failed as a doctor. All these scammers, you're going to have in the parliament to represent who? Well, their constituents. Because the people who run behind WIN, the people who are in front of that courtroom on Friday, the people who are there, look at where they came from. Tiger Bay, All Boys Town, the ghettos of Georgetown. That's where they came from. What are we talking about there? Prostitutes, ex-prostitutes, criminals, ex-convicts, murderers hiding from the police, drug dealers, junkies. That's the makeup of the crowd. And that is the team, that's the crowd that the pandit is finding solitude with. You can understand why Ashwini Muhammad would find some kind of kinship with that kind of people. Because for their crimes, you got to really be a real low-down, low-life scum for the crimes that the Muhammads have committed. So you can understand why he's hanging out with the likes of those kind. You get it, we get it. But a pandit, what excuse does he have? He's broke. So he took the billionaire money and couldn't pay it back. And this is his way of paying back the money, joining WIN. That's the deal. You made a deal with the devil because you don't want to pay your bills. You shouldn't have borrowed money in the first place. You are Hindu. He's a Muslim. Where's the commonality? A disgrace. And you have to sit in the company of the likes like Phillips and the immoral others. I mean, a lesbian. But it's not up to me. It's up to the people who stand with the People's Progressive Party. We should stand against any of these people being sworn in. The process might go through because democracy is flawed. Especially democracy in Guyana is flawed. Yeah, too much of fear mongering. You have too many of the two main groups, too many. So they can't trust each other. Nobody wants to stand for law and order because they are afraid of the other one. So if you have people in the PPP, in the government of the PPP, black people that holds key position, and you don't really know the condition of their heart when it comes to loyalty, you really can't trust them, because in a crisis, they may change course. They will go stand with people who looks like them. So the PPP has to keep compromising, so they don't offend the blacks within the hierarchy of the PPP. But what happened to the rest of us? What happened to the rest of the citizens who made it possible for the PPP again to hold the reins of government? What happened to the rest of us? Why couldn't it have been an immediate reaction? Immediate reaction for the failure of the Minister of Justice and Legal Affairs to fire him. Why couldn't he be fired on the spot? That could have happened. Friday self, when that judge says 150,000 Guyana dollars bail, you could have appealed that in a different court. And get a different judgment to retain these people and hand them over to the FBI. That's how a good system works. But the Attorney General is so incompetent. All of these chances he had. The prosecutors could have cited a conflict of interest. From the time you hear this is going to this particular magistrate, start with your research. Get your spies on it. Get your technical people on it. Pull up the files. Do investigation. Find out if there's any connection to the Mohammeds or any interest of the Mohammeds. Do research. Find out before you get this judge. If you see anything there that could compromise your judgment, say no, recuse yourself. Because this is a high-profile case and a lot is riding on it. You don't just trust people because they look like you. There is no justification for the judgment that came down in that case. No justification. It is compromised. The judge should be investigated. The magistrate should be investigated. She should put on leave pending the outcome of an investigation. Put on leave. What happened to the chancellor that the president just appointed? These people are supposed to be there to be the watchdog of the government. The Chief Justice and the Chancellor. They should have come in on this situation. They should have come in on the situation. Put the magistrate aside. There's something fishy here. This should not have happened. Justify this. Put her under questioning. Put her before the bar. Investigate her. And you may come up with a lot of reasons why her judgment was like that. You can't let this slide. You can't let this slide. There is a lot of things wrong with that. Now you have a constitutional crisis to face. That man should have been in the United States, behind bars. Azzuddin Mohammed should have been behind bars. Him, his father, and the others who are soon to follow. There should not have been a convening of the parliament today. It should have been postponed. Constitution or not, it should have been postponed. They can find loopholes in the law to justify why their client should not be extradited, why the client should be put on bail. Are you telling me, you Attorney General, you exalted, you're the smartest lawyer, you couldn't find some loophole? Aren't you a constitutional lawyer also? There are no constitutional lawyers in Guyana. You could call them and say, hey, come, look for a loophole in the Constitution where we can suspend the parliament. You couldn't do that. There must be, every country has, there must be, read the law properly, interpret the law properly, and find a reason. But it's too late, isn't it? As I speak, the session is on its way, or it's finished, or I don't know. I have to check up. It's too late. But it's not too late for Nandalal to be fired. It's not too late for the judge, for the magistrate to be investigated. It's not too late to get a fresh order. The Americans should issue another order, a new one, with more charges, more details, and they have to explain it as if they're explaining to kindergarten law students. so that these idiots in the legal system in Guyana can understand. The Americans has to break it down fine, fine, fine. Maybe they should make a song out of it or put it in a video. Give a tutorial about the request and the indictment so that these idiot lawyers that are there, they can understand the seriousness in that. The Americans have to do it again and then email it, or just send it via WeTransfer. Let them look at it, download it and look at it. Say, hey, yeah, this is making sense. Let's go arrest this guy again. You have to arrest him again. You have to undo the judgment from the magistrate. You have to disqualify her judgment. Find a reason to do it. You have to go and dismiss and throw out her ruling on the bail case. End it and re-arrest the Mohammeds. This time, send them to the Americans. Because what has happened is illegal. And it is a betrayal to the average Guyanese. It is a betrayal to the average Guyanese. A man beat up his wife, he's not getting bail. People that are caught with simple drugs, they don't get bail. You have some thugs who kill people are getting bail. You have people who commit high crimes. Their bails are denied. Or if they get bail, it is millions of dollars. And the Mohammeds, the richest family in the country, the man who aspired to be president and fell short as opposition, is going to get $150,000 bail. A blind man can see that there's something fishy about that. A blind man can see. Investigate the judge. Maybe Nigel Hughes got to the judge and they had some kind of cook-up, because Nigel Hughes is a slimer. He's a total loser. Nigel Hughes should have been a security guard. He is the worst of the scums of lawyers. You would think as a man gets older, he would try to update his morals, update his morale and maybe live up to a certain standard. But the older Nigel Hughes gets, is the more ghetto he becomes. All that honor disappeared. He is just the head crook of being lawyers. Head crook. He had no criticism for the Mohammeds throughout the election. That's why the Guyanese turned their backs on him. That's why they spat on him. They spit on him. Because he's the lowest of the scums of lawyers, the lowest. No criticism. Nothing he had to say about the Mohammeds. Nothing during the elections. And now today, look at what he's doing. The man has no conscience, man. He is worse than a politician. Believe me, politicians are worse. They're terrible. Nigel Hughes is worse than a politician. The audacity in that man. But then, they have the need for lawyers like him. They have the need for them. Criminals need lawyers like him. Corrupt lawyers, bad lawyers. Criminals need those. The fact that he conspired in 2020 and all the things they said leading up to the election verdict, that he was willing to bet his credibility on the numbers that he gave, that Granger won, that man could have come back from all of that and still have a job as a lawyer and still was able to excel as the leader of the AFC. The system is fucked up, man. Like I said, niggers are losers. P-brain, they're empty-headed. They don't think. All of that man did. And still he was able to come back as though he has cleaned his slate, he had a baptism, he's reformed, renewed in body, mind, and spirit. And lo and behold, his sponsor was almost in prison and he showed up to add pressure to who? Is it that these people have information on these magistrates? Does this magistrate lives a double life? One for the public and she has a private life? Is it the case? And maybe somebody has video on her doing something freaky that they made sure they show her the video before, hey, this is what we have. If this judgment is in favor of that guy, we leaking this. Is there a blackmail going on? Because I'm still trying to figure things out. Maybe even Anil Nandalal, the fact that he wasn't pressing, he didn't use his prosecutorial power. He didn't use his power as a head prosecutor, the head attorney for the government, to push or get the best men on the team to make sure that the Mohammeds never see the light of day. Is it because they have information on Anil Nandalal that he would have chosen weak prosecutors to deal with the case? Do they have information on these people? Because every time the Mohammeds go to court, they get favor. They get the best deal when it comes to bail. Monies that they use to put gas in their cars, and they walk away practically free. Do they have information on these judges and magistrates in Guyana? We can't justify what's happening. What happened to all the details from the terrorist case? Why are we getting sparing information, sparing, and now it seems to be a distraction? We're not hearing anything more about this recent bombing. We need all the details, all the names of the people in Guyana who are involved. We don't want the foot soldiers. We don't want those foot soldiers. We want the sponsors. We need the names of the sponsors of the terrorism. This is not a joke. The Mohammeds don't have the state at ransom. The Mohammeds don't control the president or the government. But it seems like they do. Because from the time that verdict came down on Friday, that weak, questionable verdict, the government should have been on their case. Judges could be on call over the weekend. You can get a judge to sign off on anything whenever you want it. The Mohammeds should have been rearrested on Saturday. Rearrested on Saturday. You could have had an emergency court session on Sunday. All of that is possible when you are in control. When you are in control, all of that is possible. Don't tell me going through the motion or going through this or going through that. What are you afraid of? Protest? Okay, so he's not going to be sworn in. The House of the People, the National Assembly of Guyana, the Parliament of Guyana, is not going to recognize Azriddin Mohammed as the opposition leader. He wouldn't get the floor as opposition leader. He would not be recognized. It would not be in the books. It would not be a legitimate thing. Therefore, none of the perks that comes with the package that is offered to the opposition leader, Azriddin Mohammed is not going to get that. That ain't happening. So we get that out of the way. What now? What is he going to do? Go on his platform and say he was wrongfully dealt with and the Ali government didn't want to swear him in and the Ali government this, so therefore people should come out and protest for justice for Azriddin Mohammed, protest for the end of discrimination. That's what you are afraid of? That they will come out and protest? Let them come out. Let them come out and protest. Let them come out. You have to find a way to drain the ghettos. You got to spray them out. But the only way you can spray out these roaches, you got to give them some food to seduce them to come. So the food is the fact that the Muhammad's, Ajuni Muhammad, is not going to be acknowledged. He will not be acknowledged. He will not be sworn in as no opposition leader. That's the food. So now he has the ammunition to go and call them niggas out. Let him do that. You know how happy the rest of the people in the ghetto who just want to get rid of these neighbors that they have, you know how happy they will feel rather, to know that the neighbor that used to terrorize them is in jail or dead. They'll be happy. The ghetto is rid of these people. It's no longer the ghetto. They can demolish those houses, burn them down, change the whole image of the place, rename the place. Because all of the thugs and scraps and scrapes are gone. They're no longer there. So you can change the name of All Boys Town. You can name it, some other nice name. You can change the name of Agricola and all these places where these gangsters and thieves are. So let them go out and let them go protest for the Mohammeds. The Guyana police force has the technology. We have a strong Home Affairs minister. It's a woman, but she's strong. And she's already made it clear. Law first. So the police, they have the orders. They have their orders. So let them go. We want a reason to move the Camp Street jail, right? Which means you have to build bigger prisons. If they're busy building a bigger prison somewhere in the hinterland on the border of Venezuela, then you need inmates. If the prison can house 5,000 inmates, then it's good. You round up all the 5,000 who voted for Win and Ashwini Muhammad, you round them up and just ship them there. They can live out the rest of their miserable life in the penitentiary, in the cell house. They get free food, free whatever, and they don't have to pay for sex. The women can just grind on each other and the men can just bugger each other. Free. Clean the ghettos. This is your chance. You're not going to be sworn in, so call them. Services need some money. They need business. So when the police are shooting them, somebody got to pay the funeral services. The government has to pay the funeral services. So the funeral services, the mortuary, they have to make money. If nobody's dying, they can't make money. So let them go out and protest and fight with the police and try to burn stuff down so they can be killed. Then the homes can earn money. Then we don't have to worry in the future about these kinds of people. They'll be gone. Society can now move on. Breathe a relief that the society has finally gotten rid of all of the generations of Barnum. They're gone to join their demon king in hell. Then we can breathe. There'll be no more crime. There'll be no more robbery. All those wild accidents and drinking and driving and killing people on the road, there'll be no more of that, because the people that will remain will be peaceful, law-abiding Guyanese citizens who love each other, who loves their government, who want to serve their country. That is what will remain. No more drugs, no more violence, no more thuggery. So let them niggas go out and protest that Ajwini Muhammad is going to go to prison. He will not be opposition leader, and the Win party will be no more. Now I'm saying that. And if Anil Nandalal is that pissed, if he's so upset that he will be fired, he can join Win. He can do like Kemraj. You know, Kemraj couldn't get his way with Barajaglio. He couldn't get his way. So he did what losers would do. He stepped out of the PPP, joined the PNC. Same thing with Moses Nagamutu. And this Ganesh, this girl, this lady, Ganesha Mahipal. They all did this because they could not get their way. They went over to the PNC. Well, Nandalal can do that. Anil, since you helped out the PNC sponsored head talk, you helped him out, and they fire your ass, you can go join the PNC. And then you and Campbell can get upset with Norton, and you can go join another AFC. You know, you keep joining stuff. You can do that. Maybe in 2090, you might have a chance to be Minister of Justice again. But for now, you need to go, Anil Nandalal. You need to go. And I think this guy, Datadin, Sanjay Datadin, he should take your place. The government should put, because you need a politician. Nandalal is not a politician. Datadin is a lawyer, plus he's a politician. He makes a lot of sense. So Datadin should be the Attorney General. Yeah. He's better off. So Anil, bye-bye. Go join the PNC. Because you'll have issues. You'll come with your own breaking news. So this is the thing. In the next coming days, fellow Guyanese, in the next coming days, be watchful, be vigilant, the same way how you stopped that potential terror attack yesterday. There will be more to come. These people wouldn't stop. They're evil, they're hateful. They wouldn't stop. If you know you are at a location where you can't get to the police, you have to go and get these people yourself. The law will protect you. As long as you see suspicious activities, people are planning or plotting, or you get information, you have to be the spy for the government. You have to be the secret agent for the government. You have to have the intelligence to help the government. Because at the end of the day, it is your children, your wives, and your daughters, your sons, their lives are in danger. Don't depend on the government's intelligence agencies. They can't do everything. You as a citizen, you have to be an intelligent agency. Spy, observe, listen, look, question, police, and get the information to the government as fast as possible. If you have to make citizens arrest, make citizens arrest. But don't leave it all for the government. Your lives are at stake. A lot is planning, a lot will happen, because they will try to destabilize that country, and the whole opposition is involved in that. Because they want to keep and prevent their boss, Azruddin Mohammed, and his father from being deported to federal prison. They're trying to stop it. So all kinds of distractions, all kinds of terrorism they're going to come with. And of course, the Win people will come out and pretend they don't know anything. Oh my God, what's happening here? We know that. But we'll have the evidence to link the Mohammeds to all these things. We'll have the evidence. I'm speculating right now. So while you have to be vigilant and you can't get to the police in time, use whatever weapon you have to suppress any potential terrorism. Use whatever resource you have at your hand to defend yourself, your community, your neighborhood, your homes. When the police comes, the justice will be served in your favor. Don't take it for granted. Question every Venezuelan you see. Question them. Social distance yourself from them. If they're walking with bags, or if the sun is hot, but they're wearing winter clothes, be suspicious. They could be strapped with bombs. If they're looking like they have a haversack and it's heavy, they can't question it. Pull out your weapon and tell them to stop and let them empty their bags. Don't let them come into your shops or your stores. Have your security stop them at the door, turn them away, search them, frisk them. Protect yourself. Because Maduro is still on his way. It's not over yet for him. When he is locked up or dead, then we can take our fears away when it comes to Venezuelan terrorism. But right now, he is not in prison yet. Ashrin Mohammed is not in prison yet. Those two people. Until they are in prison, until Maduro is dead or in prison, until Ashrin Mohammed is in prison, you have to be alert. Protect Guyana, protect your neighborhood, look around you, use whatever weapon you have to defend yourself against the Venezuelan terrorists, the Venezuelan illegal migrants, because a lot of them are prostitutes, they're criminals, they're convicts. And if you look at them carefully, they're junkies, their brains are fried, they have nothing to lose. They feel nothing. So it's nothing to them to kill Guyanese, nothing to them. You better get to them first before they get to you. Protect your life and your country and your government. Don't take anything for granted. And any protest starts in Guyana, help the police. You know who the enemies are. Any protest, stand with the police and the government. Don't join the protest. Don't join the protest. Defend yourself from the protest. Defend your business, defend your homes, defend your families. And like I said before, get to them before they get to you. The law has to protect the innocent people who are defending themselves. Until next time, this is Dr. Love Prasad saying, all the best, and I'll keep you posted. I'll keep you posted. Until next time, bye now.